Hello, I'm Amber Williams with the CETL Support Department. For those of you who don't know me, a little bit more is that I'm an instructional designer, specifically with the curriculum and assessment. So two of the areas that I focus on are usually KIM and WIDS, but of course there's some overlap with Blackboard and with Ultra. That being said, welcome to the Ultra 2 course, taking your course from good to great. And this is the second module with student engagement, how to engage your students utilizing the vast array of tools that Blackboard Ultra has to offer. So welcome. Let's give you a little bit of an overview and break it down for the how, the why, and the what before you get into the material itself. So why is it important to engage students? Well, I think we can all relate as instructors. It's becoming more and more difficult to engage students. Participation is down. The work of submission and the rate of submission for students in terms of classwork has become decreased. And it's really hard to provide that motivation and the drive for students. So I think one of the great assets of a teacher and one of the tools that they can draw on is an engagement piece. The more you can engage and interact, whatever the type of atmosphere it may be, whether it's in person, a hybrid experience, or completely virtual, there are a lot of ways in which you can engage with students to pique their interest, give them ownership of the material, and then drive their interest in completing the coursework. So, that being said, let's look at our learning objectives. What are you going to be doing throughout this module? First, you're going to be pre-assessed. It's a fairly easy pre-assessment journal reflection, but you're going to think about the ways in which you're currently engaging your students through Blackboard tools. I want you to look at the methods that I provide to you in this module and kind of compare and contrast. Perhaps there are things that, of course, you're already doing. Maybe there's ideas that you're interested in based on ones that are displayed. Then finally, you're going to be determining which methods of engagement you do plan to incorporate and then utilize in your Ultra courses. So how is this going to be assessed? It's through our applications and learning activities. So first, you'll be assessed with that pre-assessment journal reflection, which is coming up very shortly here. You'll have the opportunity to experiment and participate in an AI conversations role play. This is just an experimentation piece first, where you're kind of taking the role of the student and how it's already set up for you. Now, there is a 60-minute time limit, and that was just by default. So I want to encourage you not to take an entire hour to do the AI conversation, but I just didn't want it to deter from any of your inclinations to do that, experimentation process. So you do not have to do it for 60 minutes, nor is it graded. It is just to experiment with. And then finally, you are going to create, this is kind of the culminating and summative piece to the module. You are going to be, the culmination of it is creating your own AI conversation. So I really want you to think as you complete your experimentation, what's a topic that I could really use this with in my course? Or what's a really good way I could engage students with it? Perhaps it's a tutoring session during a really specific content module that you have where you know students struggle and they could get help and immediate feedback and answers. Maybe you're providing a prompt of an AI conversation where you're trying to get the complexity really low and you're trying to make the answers incorrect so that a student can try and address what the AI tool is doing incorrectly. Maybe there's a really notable figure that you could use for your coursework that directly relates, and you can have it simulate and be that professional from within your own field. I mean, the ideas are limitless, so I really want you to think that through. You're going to be giving the prompt or the question that you created. You're going to show and demonstrate some of the conversation, either with a screenshot or a video like this. And then finally, so I don't take up too much of your time, you're then going to reflect a little bit on how you could see it being used in your class. And be honest, there's going to be pros and cons with everything when it comes to technology. I'm excited that you're here and that you're engaging with this material, and I look forward to working with you all further.